the way.
I
am Steve.
Oh my God. What a bunch of pussies.
Jedi, this is what I'm trained for.
We are Venom.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again and the next episode of Building and Chatting Podcast. Today, like I said, we were talking about episode 4 and how I kind of want to go through this because I'm by myself. We're going to go through the 3 storylines of this episode. So, Matt's story is at the beginning. He is at the coroner's office because he has seen the body of the white tiger. They say they're sorry that his client passed away and everything, but they the coroner and like the police, they couldn't find the shell casing that killed White Tiger. And then his niece comes in there. The White Tiger's niece comes in and is like, no one is going to look out for us. Like, the cops that killed him are corrupt and all that. So it's a very interesting plot line there. And then he gets another case where a dude just stole some caramel popcorn and they want him in jail for years. So it's a little interesting. If that storyline, like, he thinks that because the cops are like being corrupt and evil, they're not giving people fair chances. It gets him back into gets him thinking to be Daredevil again. And also he confronts Officer Powell like, did you hurt the White Tiger? Did you get him? And Officer Powell's like, bro, I had nothing to do with his murder. I didn't do it. But, he's also the one that wanted to ruin White Tiger's life, so. But then Matt goes to track down the bullet casing and finds that the Punisher's logo is on it, as we saw the Punisher at the end of the last episode did shoot White Tiger, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But because I want to end it, because the Punisher part's at the end, so I want to talk about Punisher at the next part. This storyline for this is basically he wants to get basically this whole storyline right now is one. He's basically been told by his people that, hey, if you want all these projects to work, like to fix everything up as mayor, make things better here, and make like the port better and stuff, the port where all the criminals are doing their business, he says you'd have to buy them all out, or they'd have to all die to get the land for the port, for the like city commission and all that, to make it good enough to where they can do renovations there. And then through him and Vanessa's therapy, we learned that she had an affair with a guy in an organization called Adam. And Fisk was gone, and he's very upset about this. And he said that him and Adam had a talk. And later in the episode, as they're showing like Daredevil going back to his case of to his little shelter where it has his Daredevil mask and his Daredevil suits inside of his little bunker, at his apartment, Fisk is also walking through like his one of his little compounds, and has Adam in a jail cell, and he's eating dinner in that compound while Adam's there, and he's like, I've learned that love is forgiveness is love, Adam. Do you believe that? Do you deserve forgiveness? He uh and he's like, Fisk, let me out here, please let me out. And like that's how the episode like fully ends there. But yeah, Adam's being beat up, tortured by Fisk. He was like in the therapy, I don't know where he is, but yeah, he's holding him captured down in his bunker too. So like Daredevil and Fisk are or Matt and Fisk are going back to being Daredevil and Kingpin because of the things they've seen, the things that they think are like, hey, like justice is not getting done. And then, well, in terms of Daredevil, he's like, justice isn't getting done for people. Like, innocent people are people that are not like major criminals are being treated worse than others. And then Fisk is like, well, maybe we do. Maybe I do have to get a little dirty. Maybe I do have to get a little go back into how I was in this political game too. Like become a little more evil again too. So they're becoming their old selves again. They're becoming born again, as the title of the show is. These characters they're being rebuilt, and so the next part is because this connects with Daredevil wanting to go back to being Daredevil, or Matt going back to being Daredevil, is he goes to see Punisher because remember he finds the Punisher bullet casing. The big twist of this episode is like Matt's like, this bullet casing here, it has your logo. And then Punisher says the big twist must be some crazy fanatic fanboy of mine. Or Matt's like, must be one of your crazy fanboys. It's like, and then the Punisher's like, yeah, figures. And Matt's like, well, yeah. The other bad thing is they're the cops too. And Frank's like, Jesus. And but then Punisher finally gets Matt to open up and says that all of this, all the stuff you're doing, it's not about that. It's about Foggy. It's about him. Say his name. Say his name. And he's like, it's about Foggy. Like he was the best man out of any of us, and he's still more decent than like any of us could be. And Matt says like, but Punisher's like, you keep going on for them, you keep doing your thing for them. He says like, my little boy still calls out to me. He says to go after like all the criminals. That's what Punisher says. Is that his boy speaks to him and says to still go after these people in his head, like go and take down the criminals, daddy. And then Daredevil, like he's like, yeah, I still feel like he'd want me to be Daredevil, or that's when Matt truly has that talk with Frank, and that's truly when he decides like, hey, maybe I should become Daredevil again, because it was helping people, even though something happened to Foggy. It still helped people. He was still someone that was making the area safer, and that is the great thing about this episode. It explored a lot more of the emotional aspect into Matt Murdock, because for a character to get rebuilt up, you gotta have to break them down and then get them back, because through storytelling, it's like the best thing you can do in a story. If you want when a character's experiencing a down, you have to get them to a point where they become better again, and that's what this show is. and it did not tear Daredevil down and like make him a weaker character. No, not at all. Which is what we've seen with a lot of our shows. They tear these characters down to make fun of them, to hate on uh, the legacy, but no, Daredevil did it because it was a man going through grief. He didn't know, and when you go through grief, and especially people you're very close to, like Foggy and Karen were like family to Matt. They were like the closest people to him. Like when someone's like a brother to you and you lose that, like yeah, of course you're like, this is my fault because I'm Daredevil. Someone got too close and hurt my brother, my friends, and that's what he's gone through. He's like, this is what happened, but now after the talk of Frank and thinking about things throughout these first 4 episodes, it looks like we are getting more Daredevil and more Kingpin, which is I'm very excited about. And episode 4 was a great episode. Daredevil Born Again continues to be a great show. I would probably give this one an 8 out of 10. This wasn't my favorite, and with all the hype and teasing of Punisher, for him to basically be in only like one scene is for a few minutes is just a little disappointing. Still good how he showed up though. I mean, his inclusion was great. I just wanted to see some more John Bernthal, but we probably will be seeing more of him throughout the next 5 episodes. But yeah, this was an amazing show, another amazing episode. I just give it an 8. I just think this one was just a little weaker than the others, but it was still a good episode. It was an 8 out of 10 compared to like the 9 or 10 out of 10 I've given the last few episodes. But yeah, thank you all for watching my review, and of course Building a Chain podcast review of Daredevil Born Again. Hopefully next week we will have Ace and maybe Sky Ren back. But the reason why is Ace was just doing some Ace and Sky were busy this week, and they were with family and friends and stuff, or at work, so they couldn't make it this time. But next week we will be doing more Daredevil Born Again for episode 5. Thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you later. Bye bye.